All right, what's going on, guys? I don't know what's wrong with the world, but I guess there's a new trend going around. Y'all probably heard about that woman like a month ago who did the 100 men in 24 hours challenge. There was like a whole documentary on that one. It was like a whole thing on social media. Everyone was talking about it. Now, I thought that one was pretty insane, right? Like, I don't want to downplay her accomplishment. Like, congratulations to her. But that is nothing compared to what we are going to be looking at today. All right, so we got a lot of math to do, a lot of calculations to be made. This is going to be a very educational video. Okay, so first of all, I would like everyone to meet Miss Bonnie Blue. She has set a new world record by sleeping with 1,057 men in just 12 hours. Now, that number just sounds absurd, right? Like, it doesn't even sound realistic. So I decided that we need to break this down and do the exact math on this to see exactly how something like this is even possible, because it's just really not making any sense to me, right? Like, this shit ain't adding up. So I did some investigating into this situation. First of all, I know 1,057 is like a weird number, right? She actually did explain that. So apparently the goal was just 1,000, but obviously they sent out more than 1,000 invites because sometimes people say they're going to show up and then they don't actually show up for whatever reason. So I guess after she hit the 1,000 number, there was an extra 57 guys still waiting in line, and, being the nice person that she is, she didn't want to disappoint these guys. They've been waiting around for so long. So she went ahead and, put in a little overtime and let those 57 guys get a turn as well. So that's where the number 1,057 comes from. Now, I don't really know what the hell is wrong with these people. Like, imagine being guy number 1,057. Like, just fucking go home, bro. What the hell is wrong with you, man? Like, I don't even know how that works. Like, surely they weren't there for the whole 12 hours, right? Like, I'm guessing they probably showed up after like 10 hours or 11 hours. They just pulled up for the last hour or something. I don't know. I really hope there wasn't just a line of guys waiting there for 12 hours, which is absolutely absurd. She did post like a little clip on TikTok, and it showed like some stairs, and it just showed like a line of two separate lines of guys on the stairs like waiting to go in. I don't know. I don't know if there's like any more actual like footage or if there's going to be a documentary on this situation as well. But the whole thing is just absolutely absurd. I just wanted to say that. But aside from that, that's not what we're here for. We are here for educational purposes. Our first equation here, right? So we have 12 hours. Now, 12 hours times 60 minutes, which gives you 720 minutes. 720 minutes times 60 seconds gives you 43,200 seconds. Now, you take that 43,200 seconds, divide that by the 1,057 guys, and that averages out to about 40.87 seconds per guy. So basically, each guy can only have up to 41 seconds in order for her to get this job done within 12 hours. And I mean, to be fair, a lot can happen in 41 seconds. I'm going to assume a lot of these guys didn't even use the full 41. So that still gives her time to take some breaks and stuff in between, you know what I mean? So it is plausible. Like, the numbers do make a little bit of sense. Like, I guess it is possible for this to happen. Now, when I was doing my research, it said the way that this whole operation was ran was they let 5 guys into the room at once. Okay, so like it kind of saves them some time, because if you go one by one, like there's a lot of time being used up on the transitions. So by letting 5 in at once, you really cut down on the transition time, you know what I mean? And basically she said, you know what I mean, all 5 in there at once, and it was still one at a time, and it was kind of just like the other 4 waited around, maybe had their phone out, timing the first guy, you know, making sure he doesn't go over 41 seconds, and they just kind of all, you know, went one by one. I'm not gonna lie, this is a very efficient system. Absolutely disgusting, don't get me wrong, terrible, but efficient. I will give them credit for that. So now let's do our second calculation, okay? We kind of have a general idea of how everything went down, but now we need to figure out the exact amount of meat that Miss Blue here took that day, okay? So first of all, Google will tell you the average meat size is about 5.1 inches, which seems a bit high to me. I don't know who's out there bringing that average up. Congratulations on that. But, we'll go with 5.1, right? So if we take 1,057 bodies, multiply that by 5.1 inches, that will give us 5,390.7 inches. Now, if we take that number and divide it by 12, that will give us 449.23 feet. So we got about 450 feet of meat. However, we are not done yet. We do have to consider these strokes. Now, we know that each guy was allowed a maximum of 41 seconds. So I figured what we do is we just call it 41 strokes. On average, 1 stroke per second. Some were probably more if they were just going crazy in there. Some were probably less if they didn't utilize the full 41 seconds. So I think 41 is kind of a fair average to use in this scenario. So now we finish off our calculation here, right? So we take 41 strokes, multiply that by 449.23 feet, and that will give us 18,418.43 feet. And now we take that number and divide it by 5,280 feet per mile, and that will give us a final number of 3.49 miles of meat in one day. Now, just for reference, just to kind of understand how insane of a number that really is, right? I went back to the original miles of meat calculation for Bella Danger. You guys are all probably familiar with her work. And her number was 9.5 miles in her entire life. And keep in mind, who she is. And this was at the time. Obviously, the number is up now. I don't know what it is now. But at the time, that was her number for a lifetime of work. And basically, this lady hit about 1/3 of that in a single day. So, pretty insane. I'm going to assume she'll probably never be the same again. I mean, just think about this meat situation here, right? I want you to walk down the street for 3.49 miles, right? Track it on your phone. And the entire time you're walking this 3.49 miles, you just need to imagine 5.1 inch meats lined up, meat to meat, touching all the way down the road for the full 3.49 miles. And once you get to the end of the 3.49 miles, you turn around and you look back and you just imagine all that meat lined up. And then you just need to realize that all of that was inside of her in one day. So yeah, anyways, with that being said, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. We took a look at the Caitlin Clark stalker tweets. They were pretty absurd as well. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on the last week, I would say. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day and peace out.